So good morning everyone. Off out on a Sunday bimble. Going to meet some of the lads at bobbing services. Not the usual tuck in this time. So I'll be testing out the new screen, which I haven't tried yet. But initial thoughts are it's absolutely brilliant. It directs the air away from my body, a treat. Really sleek design. I bet that will help with top speed. Yeah, it really looks the part as well. And neat. So I was out on the Hunter yesterday, and that feels like a bloody slug. It really does. This is a lot more responsive. Trouble with riding different bikes all the time. All three of my bikes have got different gear patterns, so I tend to get on a different one and like stomp the gears the wrong way. Soon get used to it though. It's a blooming lovely day today. Hope it stays like this. I'm going to get past this bloke, he's going too slow. It's a 40 limit and he's doing 30. So I've got to go to the co-op, which is at the petrol station fortunately, and going to get a meal deal. What an absolute bell end. That's what you have to deal with on a daily basis. Anyway, going to get a meal deal and we're heading to Bewl Water. That's a pretty damn big reservoir, that is. Man-made reservoir, quite scenic. And we're going to sit outside and picnic, I suppose. Well, it's a bit cold to be having a picnic. I wish I had my heated grips on, but I haven't got round to that yet. That is on my to-do list. So how's the sound quality? It should be quite good. It doesn't sound noisy in my crash helmet. It sounds really quiet actually. I remember having one of these before on my other one and I was really impressed with it. The shape is perfect. The wind is just sort of hitting the top of my shoulders. So most of me is staying warm. I don't know how I'm going to fit my sat-nav to this though. There's not a lot of room. I'll have to have it sticking out the front and have it here. I suppose that'll be okay there. Yeah, got a nod from the biker. I always wave or nod at most people. Don't care what they're riding. You know, even lads with L plates on their little twist and goes. I'll wave or nod to those, because we've all got to start somewhere. Let's give them some encouragement. Alright, we're getting on a boring bit of dual carriageway. I'll turn you off and bring you back when we get to the services. So this is Bobbin Services. Always a busy place because it's got a McDonald's drive-through. Gets Ramo, that does. 24/7 that's open. Right, let's fill her up. I'll find a little button. It's got quite a bit in there. I won't get much fuel in there. I'm not going to get any more than that in there. £2.50. That's what you call a cheap fill up, isn't it? Just under 2 litres. 1.9 litres. Number 2. Let's go and pick my meal deal. Chicken mayo. Tuna sweet corn. I don't like sweet corn much. Prawn mayo. That'll do. Drink. Have they got any iced coffee? Iced coffee. Oh yeah. Yeah, these are nice. I like these. And a bag of crisps or something for the snack. Snack, look, you can have a Scotch egg. What a deal. Right, number 2 and these. $2.57. The receipt or something? No thanks. Anything else? No, that's it, top. All in all, that is $6.31 the minutes. Perfect, thank you very much. Cheers. Hello, mate. Alright, number 4, please. It's a mini. So we've got Pete, Dave, Paul and Big Matt at the back. He's going at the back because he's got his bloody great big Suzuki V-Strom. He's got a monkey bike, but he didn't bring it because he's committed the cardinal sin of messing about with it. He's put a Takagawa or Kitako or something air cleaner box on it, and it's made it obnoxiously loud. so he doesn't like riding it. So standard is the way to go, isn't it, really, when it comes to intake and exhaust. Probably best not to mess about with it. Yeah, that's Paul in front with his little cross cub. That's a lovely little machine, that is. Same engine as a Wave 110. So as usual, we'll be taking the back road route. I'm not sure how far it is to Bewl Water, but it's got to be at least 35, maybe 40 miles from here. I'm going to reset my trip meter. £61.2 miles that was before I set it. 61.2 on 1.97 litres, I think it was. I'll check the fuel consumption on that and flash it up on the screen. It's so responsive, this little bike. You know, I did a few miles on the Enfield, like I said earlier. Yesterday I was out on it, you know, most of the day. So you'd think this would feel slow after that, but it doesn't. It feels really perky. I've just got a message I can see from my mate Drew. He's got an old CB250 Honda. I'm not sure what model it is. It's not a Super Dream or a Dream, just a CB250 twin cylinder. He's had it for years and it's been sitting around and doesn't go. He's going to drop it round to mine and I'm going to see if I can get it going for him. Be a nice little will it start project, because they're quite good bikes, those CB250s. They've got a nice low seat height, torquey, probably not much faster than this, but pleasant things to ride. Dodgy junction this is. Got to turn right on a bend like that. Dave's committed the cardinal sin of leaving his indicator on. Paul won't let that go. Just did a drive-by shot and I thought that runner guy in the orange was going to nick my phone. He ran right past it with it stood on the side. Looked at it. I suppose he must have tweaked what was going on. Yeah, that'd be a disaster, wouldn't it? Someone nick me bloody phone. This is Bredgar, nice little village. Yeah, there's a nice little village pond. See it there? With the ducks on it. Your typical English village pond. And we're back out into the country again. So this is Hollingbourne we're just coming into now. Going down Hollingbourne Hill, which is almost as steep as Boxley. Very similar. In my younger days I did a couple of cycle hill climbs up here. I think that would kill me now if I did that. Used to be a lovely pub there called the Dirty Habit, just there on the left, but it caught light and burned down a few years ago now, and it's just been derelict ever since. Such a shame, because it was an ancient pub, because we're on the Pilgrim's Way now, so that was hundreds of years old, with wooden beams. A lovely old building. So we've just gone past Leeds Castle. This is the Len Valley now. Yeah, shame you can't see the castle from the road. Quite expensive to get in and have a look round. And this is Leeds Village. Plenty of daffodils. It's nearly spring. I wish it would hurry up though, because it's just too damn cold. Getting a bit fed up with the cold weather now. Time for some warm stuff. So we're about to drop down the hill into the Weald of Kent. It's the flatlands. It's called the Weald. Headcorn, Tenterden, that sort of area. Out in the countryside a bit more now. All the cars parked outside the church. It's a Sunday morning. It's funny, you don't think of people going to church much anymore, but they do. Wet bits, because I don't want to get my bike dirty. Big pothole. Lots of gravel, just how I like it. I just love a rough, bumpy lane. The rougher it is, the better. There's a lot of joggers out today. Sunday joggers. Another big pothole. It's quite often one of the lads will signal that there's a big pothole. They'll stick their arm out and point. Must admit, I don't tend to do that. I just pick my line and expect those following to follow my line, really. If I'm in front, I can see better. So you follow their line and you won't go too far wrong. We're almost at sea level here. It's you can see there's lots of water. It floods regularly, this bit of road. It can become unpassable. I might as well accept that my bike's going to get dirty today and I'm going to have to wash it. It could do with a polish anyway, because it got all dusty the other day. The roads are very dusty and salty, so it's best to wash that off. I've gone round a lot of the exposed metal parts with ACF 50 just to keep the corrosion at bay. Yeah, these are lovely, these little lanes, aren't they? It's the ones where 30 mile an hour feels fast. They're the nicest little lanes. You don't get much traffic. Very little, really. It's just the people that live down these lanes. Most people put their destination into their sat-nav and they just follow the sat-nav, and the sat-nav very rarely takes you down roads like this. Cool. The trees fallen down, or been cut down. Some nice firewood. I'll be doing another wild camp next week, if you're interested. I know they're not the most popular videos, which I think is a shame, because I really like doing them. And my missus is coming out with me. So if you want to see my missus struggling doing bushcraft and chopping wood, she doesn't know it yet, but I'll get her on wood chopping duty. She's never done a wild camp in her life, so that'll be a proper baptism of fire. It's much nicer when the sun comes out. Feel the warmth. So this is Goudhurst. Another little quintessential village green. Look at that. How nice is that? It's got its own little fountain. So we've come out the other side of the Weald and into the hilly bit. We're nearly into East Sussex now. "28 miles in, I don't think it's too much further. About another 20 minutes, something like that maybe. I'm really impressed with this little ash-eye screen. I'll leave a link in the description to the WeBike website where you can buy one if you want. So it's about 90 quid. The postage is quite high, obviously, from Japan, but their service is outstanding. That only took 5 working days. Lovely sweeping bit of road. Yeah, it keeps the wind off a tree. It really does, even though it's only small. It's just the right shape, and you don't get any buffeting whatsoever. And the wind noise is virtually zero as well. It's amazing. Hopefully the audio is really good. Yeah, it was a good choice. I think with screens you either have to go small like this or really tall, like right up to eye level, like on the Cub 90. Any sort of mid-level screens are just too noisy. There's nothing worse than like a buffeting crash helmet. So we've arrived at Bewl Water. That's 33 miles from the fuel station where we started. Not quite as far as I thought. The Cub fuel gauge hasn't moved. Still reading full. It's quite a nice place to come in the summer. Bewl Water. You can walk all the way around. You can cycle around it. I think there's a sailing club, paddle boards, that sort of thing. I think you can fish it actually, although it's only like for trout fishing, fly fishing from a boat. Well, these trees look amazing. Yeah, it's a bit of a cyclist's haven because it is a really nice route round the reservoir by bike. Gosh, she had a square face. Jesus, never seen anything like it. I'll try and take a still out of that. Oh, Pete's going to be a rebel and we're going to park up here. Good old Pete. That's what I like to see. Yeah, could do. So we're going to sit on the Scenic log. The Three Stooges. Oh no, actually there's 5 of us, isn't there? Matt couldn't resist it, he had to give his 1050 a blast. Caught by the traffic lights. Oh, strange. Must have an automatic camera on the top. Changed to red and then changed straight to green again. An intelligent traffic light. So we're just coming into a little village called Collier Street. Strange having a village called something street, but that's what it is. Collier Street. We're about 10 miles south of Maidstone. I used to live in Maidstone years ago, and I actually worked in Collier Street. There's a little garage on the right hand side. We'll be going past it in a minute. I worked in there. Worked there for 12 years as a mechanic and body and paint. Really nice place to work it was. Family owned, Jaguar specialists. Yeah, what a great place to work. I only left because they just couldn't pay the money. I went to work for a big dealership and almost doubled my wages overnight. So it was a no-brainer. Otherwise I'd still be there. Because it's still going. So here it is on our right hand side. I'll try and bend the camera so you can see. Oh, you might not have got a very good view of it, but yeah, it's still going. It's run by the son of my old boss. So this has changed a lot over the years. There's a lot of houses here that weren't here years ago. At the corner we just went round, I actually crashed on there once when I was 17. I slid off my Kawasaki KH250 going too fast. I was going on the way to work, I was, so I crashed on the way to work, picked myself up, dusted myself off and just carried on and did a day's work. No crying about got to go to hospital and be checked out and all crap like that. In those days you just get on with it. This little cub just purrs along at 40 miles an hour. I've hardly been out of top gear at all today. Such a flexible little motor. Just leave it in top and it chugs up the hills. Absolutely brilliant. So we've done 46 miles so far and I've only lost 1 bar of petrol. So at this speed we're going to be getting close to 200 to the gallon. So this is Yalding Bridge. It's only wide enough for 1 car. It's a really old bridge. You do get a bit of road rage on here sometimes because there's a little passing place in the middle there, but that's it. You get two cars going nose to nose and neither of them will move. Yeah, some lovely thatched cottages, look. Lovely. So we do a left here. Shame these cars are going left as well. Stuck behind cars on a lovely road like this. They spoil the view. Cars should be banned. Motorcycles only. The world would be a better place. We're not far from the Rambler's Rest now. It's only a couple of miles. I bet there'll be a few bikes there today. We went there yesterday and we were the only bikes there. They've started to get a bit funny about the parking now. There's very little room there because it is a boat yard, and you get a few cars parking and there's nowhere left to park. So the boat owners are complaining that they can't get to their boats. So they need to dedicate a proper parking area, really. Yes, we've lost the cars. Thank the Lord. We can see where we're going now. This is a great little bit, this last little bit. Such a nice view. Steep hill this is. It doesn't look steep on the camera, but it is. It's a nice sweeping corner. Quite often gravel on that corner though. Just before you cross the Medway, you go into the Rambler's Rest. So we've lost Dave, he's gone home. I think his missus has promised him a Sunday dinner. New side stand. This is Aylesford level crossing. Yep, and away we go. God, I can smell weed. Amazing the amount of people that drive and smoke weed. Yeah, we're on our way back now. We've lost Dave. And Paul, he's gone. He lives over. He lives in sort of Beckenham way. Dave lives on the Isle of Grain. I think he's got a nice Sunday dinner to go home to, so he had to get back. Nice little stop at the Rambler's Rest, soaking up the sun and drinking tea and talking shit with some old boys. There was an old guy there turned up. Christ, I reckon he won Olympic gold for talking. But he looked remarkably like the one of the stars from the Leather Boys. If you've ever watched the old 60s rocker film, The Leather Boys, this guy was a dead ringer for the blonde gay bloke with the curly hair. God, he was a dead ringer. But Christ, he could talk. Just wouldn't stop. So we'll be saying goodbye to Pete in a minute. He's going to go straight on, and I'll be turning right. I think Matt will probably come my way because he lives near Sittingbourne. See you, Pete. Thanks for leading. It's a great route. He's good at route planning, Pete. Have to be a bit careful around these lanes because there's a lot of horse riders. It's extremely rough and potholed. Particularly rough bit there. So we've done about 70 miles today so far. Probably about another 15 to go. Seat is nice and comfortable. I could sit here all day. Yeah, this is a really rough bit of lane, this is. Not only have you got gravel and these bloody speed bumps, but you quite often get van drivers using this as a cut through and they come flying up the other way. And throw a few horse riders in for good measure. You get one of the dodgiest bits of road in the area. And there we are. It's unusual for someone in a Range Rover to stop and give way. They're usually bullies. Black Range Rovers. Bully cars. See that one? To a left here. So this is where I ran out of petrol on the mileage challenge. I don't know if I fancy doing a mileage challenge on this bike. Being fuel injected, I'm not sure if I might do any damage running it dry. I think it'd probably be okay. I reckon it'd be very similar to the C90. What did we get on that? About 128 miles, something like that, wasn't it? I think this would be about the same. I think that's an appropriate time to end the video on one of my little favourite stretches of road. Absolutely love that little bit. Yeah, it's been a really good day. They're a good bunch of lads. So it's time to say cheerio and see you on the next one. It's unusual to get a clear run through here. Oh. So the new Cub has got more ground clearance than the old Cub.